Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. All our troubles will be out of sight. you ever you ever get to that place where you don't know the words to the song, but you start mumbling, and then when you do know the words, you get back to it. Well, figured I'd do that for you. Welcome to Heart of Christ Ministry. I'm your host, Reverend Sean Robert Grant. Today, I'm going to bring a gift for you. Got a special gift, not that gift. That's just a metaphor. We got a special gift for you today, and it deals with discovering true abundance through the holidays. Okay. Now, I speak from pure 100% unfiltered experience of having to go through the holidays without really knowing, rather understanding why it's so important to discover true abundance. Okay. And before I get to it, I want to let you know it does involve money, right? Involves money, but that's just a piece of it, right? There's so much more that comes alive when we discover true abundance. So before we get into that, ladies and gents, if you have any questions, any insights you might need, anything you want to ask Heart of Christ Ministry, feel free to write to us at seang04@gmail.com. If you want to drop us a line for this closing of this year and to tell us how much we've helped you, that'd be great. But anything, feel free to write to us. And we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Feel free to do so. Not a problem. Okay. And also, 'tis the season to be jolly. No. So if you feel this ministry has helped you under any circumstance whatsoever, in any area of your life, and all the content that we've produced and all the things that we've done over the past couple years, and you want to donate to the continual evolution of this ministry, feel free to do so. VENMO, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, SeanG04@gmail.com. Zelle is not on there, but Zelle is also SeanG04@gmail.com. Good morning, by the way. I didn't even say good morning. I just came on and started singing. So good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to our to Heart of Christ. So my brain's working faster than my mouth today. Once you give and donate, especially from the heart, what's going to happen is you are going to receive the Endless Prosperity Pack. Okay, so this is the perfect season for this because this is 5 videos, which is, I want to say, 2 to 3 hours possibly of content with these videos that are going to help you go from zero to financial freedom. There's a chance that I discontinue doing this in the next year. So keep this in mind. Any donation, you could Venmo me $1 and you can wind up getting this value pack that's worth endless amounts, right? It just all depends on your consciousness. But if you do give, you donate to the ministry, what you will receive is the Endless Prosperity Pack, which is 5 videos taking you from zero to financial freedom. You study them, you learn them, you watch them over, and you take notes, and you begin to see what type of understanding arises within you, because it's all about understanding, guys. That is key. Okay. With that being said, let's get into what we were talking about. Speaking of zero to financial freedom, Heart of Christ Ministry 2021, discovering true abundance during the holidays. Okay. Now, when we think of true abundance, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Well, let's dispel the myth that abundance is just money, right? I heard the most amazing thing in this book that this book that I'm reading. And it just it stood out so much, right? And then not only that, something unfolded, right, synchronistically to help me to see the proof of that thing. Okay. Now, during the holidays, money a lot of times becomes the issue because we're trying to buy all this stuff and have this and have that. And we want to look like we're living lavishly and stuff. But in actuality, oftentimes we're forgetting what we need the most, which is in our hearts, right? We forget that the true abundance lies within here, and that's the heart and the mind, right? And so when we are able to really tap into that source, right, that valve, so to speak, that pours into our life, then we get to discover true abundance. And why is it so important to do it during the holidays? Because once again, like I was telling you, I've experienced, and I've had to, it's so funny because I've experienced at the time, I thought like, oh, this is the worst Christmas ever. And then I realized, damn, this was the absolute best Christmas ever, because what was really important was present. And I can guarantee you, if you really take a look at what's really important, you will see that it is present in your life. And that's a part of what we're going to talk about. Now, I'm just going to riff on this again. There's no bullet points, so to speak, because I just say, okay, I need to do this video. I need to do this video, right? So I'm just going to go with this and let Spirit take me wherever Spirit decides to take me. Okay. So when it comes, once again, true abundance. What is true abundance? True abundance is more than money. True abundance is, it's also money, but it's peace of mind. It's harmony. It's joy. It's resources. It's happiness, right? It's kindness. It's compassion. It's all these things. And where can this be found? It can be found in the essence and the presence of God within yourself. Okay. Now, we often have a tendency, and I'm, like I said, speaking from experience, you may have been here. Okay, I need more money. What do I need to do? I need to work harder. I need to create a better Christmas for my family. I need to create better holidays for my family. What I need to do, I need to work harder. But in actuality, it goes so much deeper than that, right? Because what happens when we connect to God, when we embody the truth of who God is, right? What happens when we do that? All of a sudden, we feel a peace rise up. We feel a freedom rise up. We feel a joy, a satisfaction, a happiness that comes alive in our very being. And then if you've been watching us, you know what happens when you cultivate that type of inner life. When you cultivate an inner life that is focused on the presence and consciousness of God, it flows out into your life. It flows out into every single experience. And then you know what happens. You look around and you look in the moment and you say to yourself, holy cow, I am completely and utterly fulfilled, right? I am completely and utterly fulfilled, right? So once again, abundance is so much more than material stuff. So much more than that, right? A lot of times we want to show our love that way when in actuality, the fact of just being present, the fact of just being able to listen, the fact of just being able to spend time with our loved ones and people, that becomes more than enough. Because I'm going to tell you something. No doubt about it, God wants you to be rich. God wants you to have abundant resources in every capacity, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. But what God really wants, God wants you to be at peace. God wants you to have the freedom within, but also to be happy with knowing that regardless of what happens on the outside, you have everything you need within yourself, right? Regardless of what happens on the outside, you have every single thing you need and desire within yourself. And when I learn this, right? When I learned this, you know what started to happen? By product of cause and effect. If I'm filled up within, right? If I am filled up within, what's going to have to happen outside of me? Outside of my reality, I'm going to have to be filled up. And you know what's the beautiful thing about the universe, the beautiful thing about God is that it's not always what we think it should be. It's not always what we think it should look like, right? So I'll tell you, for like 8 or 9 years straight, filled up it meant I had $5 million, right? But that's not true, right? Filled up is having my family come in town that I hadn't seen in 2 years and spending time with them and going to different places that we love to do, taking road trips and all that stuff, right? Being in communication with my brothers, being in communication with my friends, spending time with my wife, going to do new things in nature with her, like all of that is true abundance. That is true happiness, right? And that's what is needed so much more during the holidays as opposed to material get. Now, what I want to say is that I'm not discounting the importance of material stuff, because hell, I just showed you a gift, right? But here's the thing. Let that be a byproduct of your true abundance within yourself. Let that be a byproduct of the inner joy, the inner peace, the inner harmony that resonates inside you naturally. You see, I was having this conversation with my wife last night, and it's an understanding that we are naturally channels, vessels for God's unlimited, abundant, dynamic flow of divine energy that is so wonderful in every sense of the word. And what God wants to do is God wants to express all of that energy through us. But see, the energy comes in completely pure, completely abundant, right? It resonates from our hearts, right? From our hearts and comes through us. But if we are not in harmony in body, mind, and spirit, that energy can get distorted, right? And the best way to really dive into that truth of being in harmony is to really understand, okay, I'll put it like this for you. True abundance, real true abundance, and I'm going to get a little spiritual on you here. True abundance is understanding that God in us, around us, through us, everywhere is the limitless, eternal supply for all things. Okay. If you get nothing I say on this video, I want you to get this. God within, spirit within, the universe within, the all that is, the great mother goddess, whatever you call it, it's all the same. Understanding within. And the key word, once again, is understanding that this benevolent spirit, loving, just eternal being is the limitless supply for everything in our lives. And if you just focus on that and get that and understand that, right? Even if you don't even get it just yet, just keep telling yourself, right? That you can even say, if, like I said, if you're not religious and you happen to be watching this, you're not spiritual, the power that created the world inside of me is my endless supply, is my true abundance. The power the essence that created the universe, that lives so lovingly inside of me, is my true abundance, right? And I'm going to tell you something, once again, from experience. When you really begin to understand that, you find you are surrounded by abundance everywhere. You see my cat in the background? He's like listening. You're surrounded by abundance everywhere. Why? Because it's reflecting out from your consciousness, right? And that's an important aspect to understand, right? When we are aware, as within, so without, we're unstoppable. As within, so without. That means external stuff we need not put energy into because it's only reflecting us, right? That's how it's set up. The universe is purposely set up to be a mirror to enable you to see where you're in alignment with love and where you're out of alignment with love, where you're in alignment with abundance and where you're out of alignment with abundance, right? And it's not that it's right or wrong, because know this, God is above judgment, right? So God doesn't say, oh, you're wrong. No. If I look at my life and I see I'm out of tune with abundance, or I'm out of tune with love, guess what? I go within myself and I say, okay, I need to figure out, why am I out of tune with abundance? Why am I out of tune with love, with harmony? And then I fix it. And then all of a sudden I can see from reality in my life the change, right? So this sort of leads me to the idea now that, let's say you've been strictly material, right? Over the holidays, you're all about gifts. You're all about, showing up and showing out, buying nice stuff, which is completely wonderful. But what I want to do is I want you to have true abundance, which isn't just all that material stuff, but it's the emotional stuff. It's the great relationships. It's the harmony. It's the peace. It's the happiness. It's the joy. It's the inner strength to know that the greatest riches in the world or in the universe are not because of the cheddar, but because of the presence within you, right? And when you know that, everything overflows, right? Everything overflows. Now, what's important for me to really touch upon here right now is, and I was talking about this the other day, let's say money is not overflowing, right? Because that can happen during the holidays at times, right? It can happen to anybody. Let's say it's not overflowing at times, or it's not overflowing right now. And you find yourself being a little bit apprehensive about what's going on, about what's transpired. So you know what you got to do? Start looking around yourself to see where abundance is present, right? Because what you see around you is a reflection of you. So even if you're not necessarily having the overflow financially, maybe your relationships with your spouse, your partner, and your kids is the most amazing thing in your life right now, right? Maybe your relationships with your coworkers. Maybe you have so much peace within and everything that's going on, especially with COVID spikes and stuff like that. You have so much peace. Maybe your mental health is greater than it has been in a very long time. Maybe you've had a challenging year and you got through it and you're standing strong, and it just hadn't showed up in the reality yet, right? Or maybe you have everything you need and desire in this moment. Because you see, true abundance, true, eternal, immeasurable abundance lives in the present moment. it lives in the present moment. And it never goes anywhere else. Number one thing, whenever I'm helping people with finances, okay, get out of the future and get out of the past, right? Same with abundance. Get out of what happened 5 years ago and get out of what you think is going to happen a couple months down the road. What about right now, right? And for the longest time, I went through this. I would stop and say, okay, did I have enough to pay this? I did. Did I have enough to do this? I did, right? This is strictly speaking financially, right? But it goes in the other areas, right? Do I have family? Yes. Do I have friends? Yes. Right? Do I have food to eat? Yes. So we often overlook the abundance that's present because we're steady trying to get more. But you know the key to a really fulfilling, overflowing life is to blossom where you are planted, right? That means to look at every single thing around you, every single thing that's unfolding right now, and to take that and to say, I am thankful for how this is exactly as it is now. And what that does is that creates an acceptance within you. Because see, when you're accepting life, there's no doubt about it. You're going to be blessed by what you see. But if you're in resistance, if you're stuck in resistance, you're going to have some issues, right? Because the soul, inspired by the divine, may be trying to help you to grow within, right? And we're just seeing what we don't have. We're seeing what's missing as opposed to seeing what's present. That's another key term to true abundance. Am I seeing what's present and what's already blessing me? Or am I looking at what is missing? Because guess what? If it's missing, then it ain't supposed to be here anyway, because it's not inside you. It's not within you creating that mirror, right? So there's something there. There's some soul lesson to be learned, to be had, right? But let me put my focus on what's here now, right? What's not missing. And when I do that, guarantee I will be filled up. I will be filled up so much that nothing can take away the joy that I'm able to experience. Right? So before I leave you, ask the question. Where is my abundance? We did that for so long, we really need to bring that back. But a couple questions here for you. Where is abundance present in my life? Right? What in my life represents abundance for me? How do I discover the true abundance within myself? Right? Where in my life is abundance present? Right? Those simple questions, and it don't have to be those specific questions, right? I think I repeated the first one. Doesn't have to be those specific questions, but when you start to ask those empowering questions, like we talked about the last episode, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get empowering answers, and answers that'll make you feel good and happy. That's why I did for so long. Where is my abundance? Right? So you take it a step further. Where is my abundance present in my life? Spirit, show me. Right? Because when you do that, you're going to see that it's everywhere. And it's in places that you never would have thought of. Right? Could be in emotional health, could be in mental health, could be physical health, could be everything that you desire and could ever want. All right. Discovering true abundance during the holidays. Remember, it all starts in here. Nothing outside can affect you if you don't allow it to. It all starts in here. Know that the essence of God, that part of you that is God, is the true, limitless, eternal supply of abundance, not just money, but of all things. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today on this beautiful message. If you have any questions about anything that just transpired, please send us a message, SeanG04@gmail.com. We will help you any way that we can. And if you enjoy this riffraff and all these other messages that Heart of Christ has been producing, as well as some of the other stuff that we're working on, please feel free to donate. Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, SeanG04@gmail.com, Zelle, SeanG04@gmail.com as well. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this message. Once again, this is one of these videos. Look at it, listen to it, understand, really dive into the truth of what is being said, because I'm going to tell you something. For me, what I'm going to do is I'm always going to go back and watch it and look and understand what is being conveyed, right? Because a lot of times I'm teaching myself just as much as I'm doing anybody else. So I'm really happy about that. And with that being said, guys, have a wonderful holiday. If I don't see you Christmas Eve tomorrow or Christmas Day, have a wonderful, holly jolly Christmas. And remember, you have everything you need within you. Okay. You have every single thing you need within yourself. And when you know that, when you understand that, you got everything. All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
Every dream begins with a vision that sees everything before anyone else ever can. A vision that ignites the endless power to make all your dreams come true.